Hey, this is Equipped for Battle. I'm Carly. Today I'm going to tell you why mediums and psychics can invite evil spirits into your life. If you haven't yet, please check out my testimony videos because I actually think that's going to help you understand why I'm here and why I'm making this video today. First and foremost, mediums claim that they can speak to spirits and speak to loved ones that have passed away on someone's behalf, or spirits that just kind of come to them from the past. And psychics just kind of say that they can tell the future. Now, there is this thing called necromancy where people will commune with spirits in order to tell the future. All of these practices are ties to demonic forces. The mediums are not talking to spirits of loved ones. They are talking to evil spirits that are mimicking loved ones. Psychics, if they are true psychics, they are not doing it themselves. They are just a proxy for the demonic forces who are spirits of divination. And then you've got necromancers, just combine them both and you got the same thing there. In Acts 16:16, we're introduced to a slave woman who has a spirit of divination in her, a demonic spirit of divination in her. And she was actually able to make a lot of money for telling the future due to this evil spirit giving her clues about the future. There are many instances in the Bible about something like this. God strictly says to stay away from these people in any form of divination or spiritual practices. But in general, this was just showing us that this woman herself did not have the skill or the means to be able to tell the future. It was the evil spirit she had invited into her life that was the thing that was doing the divination. Mediums fascinate us, and there's no wonder why. Wouldn't you want to talk to a loved one who had passed away? Of course we would. But the thing is that are they really talking to loved ones who have passed away? At face value, it definitely seems like they know things about you and loved ones that they probably wouldn't know otherwise. It also seems like a very good thing that they're sitting down with you and they're helping you through some emotions from loved ones who have passed away. They're giving you answers that you've been looking for, and it seems like a very good thing that's happening. We see this with Tyler Henry, who is a famous medium. We see this with the Long Island medium. We see this with many other people who claim that they're mediums, and they use this for monetary purposes, but they also say that they can communicate with loved ones and give you the answers that you've been looking for. But what I've noticed about this is they more likely than not always give them positive answers instead of the real truth that may have happened underneath. There may be many reasons why they're doing this. One, because they don't want to hurt the people across the table from them. But two, because either they don't know or the demons are trying to pacify them by saying this is a good thing. See, you're getting the answers that you're looking for, and I'm telling you good things about your loved ones who have passed away. I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again, and I'll say it again in the future. God never said that these things weren't true. God never said that people weren't communing with spirits. He said to stay away from people like that and for you to stay away from practices like that. He said to stay away from it. Why? Because the spirits that they're communing with and talking to are not spirits of loved ones who have passed away. The psychics are not the ones themselves telling the future. It's the demons that they've let inside to tell them the future. They are not talking to loved ones who have passed away. I'm sorry to say that. They are talking to demons who are able to mimic and pacify you with loved ones that they know everything about because they study their people very closely to get a foothold into your life. Also, psychics are not the ones doing the divination. It's these evil spirits of divination who are trying to foretell the future, and sometimes they get it right. In 1 Chronicles 10:9-14, this is a good example of how much God just absolutely detests people speaking to spirits or consulting with mediums. This is a verse that's talking about King Saul's death. He was a king in the Bible, and he was the first king of the Jews when they escaped from Egypt. What happened is he fell away from the grace of God. He became very angry and very jealous of David, and he kind of became murderous. And in place of a good spirit that God gave him, an evil spirit came in. It says right in the Bible, in the same breath where it talks about King Saul dying, it talks about how not only did he fall away from the grace of God, but he even consulted mediums and consulted spirits before he went and consulted God. This hurts God. Because not only are you doing something that he told you not to do, and you are potentially opening up demonic doorways into your life, but you're also going to that for answers instead of going to your Father God for answers and for guidance and for love. So that's just a good example of how much God just does not want us and does not like us going to mediums and communing with spirits. Something I want to read to you now is from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 1 through 2. The Holy Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. Such teachings come through hypocritical liars whose consciences have been seared as with a hot iron. That's just another verse, and it's from the New Testament that talks about how these teachings and these things that you think are good and right and okay to do are not. And it says it so clearly in the Bible that you are being deceived by the teachings of the evil one and the teachings of demons. And this is a way to get a foothold into your life so that you don't turn away from it. And unfortunately, you miss out on that relationship with God. I don't think I shared this much in my previous videos, and I don't know if it's because I want to not think about it anymore, but I'm going to share it now. And it's something that I have struggled with understanding and why these things kind of happen to me, but it's something that I feel like I need to open up and specifically share it in this video about mediums and psychics. While I was in the middle of New Age spiritualism, crystals, smudging, and witchcraft, and had opened a doorway by praying to an evil entity that I didn't know was an evil entity at the time, I started seeing things that I couldn't explain. I started seeing what I thought were spirits of people, and I would hear spirits communicating with me, and I would see them, and I would meditate on them, and I just felt like I kept opening these doorways to these human spirits that wanted to come through and communicate through me, and I loved it. I thought that there was something special about me, and I thought that I had this power within me that I could help people. It's almost like a muscle that you have to practice. And so the more I did crystals and the more that I kind of meditated on this, I wanted to become a medium. That was like my ultimate goal. This is really hard for me to talk about because I don't think that I've said it out loud like ever, but it was definitely a big part of my life and my journey to finding God, so I think it's important to talk about. Now, through this journey, I had never visited a medium or a psychic, and I decided if I want to pursue this and I want to try to bring more spirits in and make it a little bit more of a stronger communication than what I was dealing with at the time, that I needed to go and reach out to a medium. And so what I did is my friends and we were going on a trip, and I decided that we were going to order a medium and she was going to come to the house, and I had heard good things about this medium. And so that's what we did. We just kind of put our money together and we got this medium to come to the house. So we ordered this medium. She came to the house. She gave us a crystal to open up our chakras or our third eye energy so that she could connect with us further. And she kind of sat there and we waited. It didn't take long for her to pick up on things, according to her, and she pinpointed little things about people, but for whatever reason, she spent a huge amount of time on me. And I know the reason why. It's because I had already let demons into my life, and I was already dabbling in these spiritualistic practices, and my friends weren't. So the demons that were following me and that I had let kind of put a foothold into even my friend group, they study you. They know how you work. They hear the things you're saying. They will give that information to the mediums, whether the mediums realize it or not. And I firmly believe she doesn't realize it. I actually believe that a lot of mediums, and especially this medium that we were talking to, are doing it because they are doing it to help people. And they think that they're talking to loved ones who had passed on, but really it's these spirits. And sometimes they get someone like me that walks through the door and it's like a huge rush of energy at them, and they're able to read a lot off the person. When I saw this medium, she picked up on a lot of people who had passed in my life. She was giving me details that she would never even know, and details of what I had been asking out loud to me in the days following up to seeing this medium. Things that no one would ever know. And the reason why I know that it was a demon that was communicating to her is because I had let this demon in. And it was the demon that I had saw later on in my basement. Even while I was sitting there listening to her talk, I realized that she was only feeding me like positive information about people. And even like the horrific ways that they passed away, it was all only positive information. And I'm not saying that's like a dig at her or anything. I just think it was a way for me to feel like I was getting the answers that I was looking for, and that I felt good after the reading. And I think that's exactly what these demonic spirits want. They want you to keep pursuing it. So they're going to give you feelings of good feelings in the moment. When she left, and she picked up on a few things from my friends too, and I actually think that was also demonic forces that I had let in that was feeding her information about my friends. But when she left, I'll never forget this. I opened the door to walk her out, and she turned and looked at me, and the look on her face was almost of fear and concern for me. And when she looked at me like that, I kind of like took a step back, and I asked her, "Are you okay?" And she kind of said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And I'll never forget the look on her face. And I remember shutting the door, and just this feeling of dread came over me. Like, what did she know, or what did she find out that she wasn't telling me at that time? But it wasn't too long after that where I couldn't stop crying. I felt a huge heaviness and a burden on my shoulders. I felt absolutely drained and exhausted. And I felt like, because she told me all this positive information, I should have been feeling great, but I felt horrible. Again, that feeling of dread, like I just did something I should have never done. And I couldn't get the look on her face out of my head. And I just felt like there was something she wasn't telling me, something she picked up on. And these feelings that were whirling in my head was directly related to what I had just experienced when that medium was there in the house. When I came home, the energy in the house ramped up. My husband said he started feeling things and seeing shadows behind him at night. And he didn't believe in any of this stuff at first. Like, he doesn't believe in spirits and stuff, but he said he was experiencing things that he can't explain. There was a girl at work who I gave the crystal to that the medium had given me, and I said, make an appointment with this medium, and she can do it online. And my friend came back, and I said, how did it go? Did she pick up on a lot of stuff? And she said she picked up on nothing. And I was like, nothing? How could she pick up on nothing for you, but pick up on so much for me and a few of my friends? I just didn't understand it. And now that I know what I know, it's because I had brought evil into my life months and months before I saw this medium. And so what was feeding this medium information? Probably nothing at the time. She herself probably couldn't tap into anything for whatever reason. But with me, she definitely had a direct link to demonic realm, and she was able to tap into a lot of, when I say a lot of information on me, a lot of information on me. It's not to scare you into thinking that these demons are more powerful than you just because they study you. They study you because they're trying to get to you and trying to keep a foothold in your life. But if you have the power of Jesus at your disposal, and you have the armor of God around you, and you have him ahead of you and behind you and protecting you, these evil spirits can't use that information against you. The thing is they can manipulate you still. I mean, that's what spiritual warfare is, and they're constantly trying to get at Christians, but they're not going to have the foothold in your life like you let them have before. And that's the important thing, because now you have a relationship with God and a relationship with Jesus. You are saved. Whether they know it or not, mediums and psychics are communicating with demonic forces. I know that most of these people are well-meaning people. And if you're one of the people who are communicating with spirits and you're trying to open these doorways, understand that these spirits are very deceitful. And we need to use discernment when we're judging these spirits, because we need to know that these are demonic forces that we're giving a foothold into our lives. When I was communicating with spirits, and especially when I saw the medium, I was communicating with demonic forces who were trying to make me feel like I was special, and make me feel like I was able to communicate with spirits, and make me feel like I was able to do this for people in my life. But the reality is they were just trying to get a foothold into my life, and I let them for a long time. I let them. If you are someone who feels like you're able to speak to spirits, or if you're able to see them, and you looked up this video because you're looking for specific answers, I'm glad that you watched this video, because I'm about to tell you something very important. If you feel like you open doorways and you're not sure how to close them, you can always kick these evil entities out of your life and close the door for good. And that solution is giving your life to Jesus Christ and turning away from mediums, psychics, and you yourself turning away from these spiritual practices that you've been involved in. These evil spirits will leave. These spirits will stop mimicking loved ones, and they will stop making you feel like you can commune with the dead, because actually what you did is kick the demons out of your life. In the future, there may be spiritual warfare that you have to deal with, and you have to keep on and keep faith in the promises of God, that what this life has to offer, which is this much of your time compared to eternity in heaven, the eternity part is so much more important than how you feel in this moment when you think you can communicate with spirits, but it's actually demonic forces that are tricking you and deceiving you. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather hang on to the truth of God than the deceitful demonic spirits who are making me feel like I am some type of special medium that can communicate with loved ones who have passed away. That part, they're tricking you, but with God, it's all truth, and He never changes. He never changes the game. He never changes the truth, and He never changes His love for you, and He's waiting for you to come to Him. He's waiting for you to turn away from your wicked ways and come live a fulfilled and nourishing life with Him. Hey, Equipped for Battle here. I'm Carly. Thank you so much for watching this video about mediums and psychics. Please subscribe. I'm making content all the time. Hit the bell icon for notifications. Like the video, share it if you need to, and comment down below if you are someone who was saved by Jesus but used to be a medium, or if you're someone who visited mediums and psychics on the regular but now you don't because you found Jesus, or if you're just questioning what you're dabbling in and if you should stay away from these things, comment down below. Either I'll be able to get to them or the community that we're trying to build will get to you, because we're the body of Christ and we should be helping one another. Thank you so much for watching this video. I think you should check out the next video because we're going to talk about Ouija board and if you should stay away from them and what that actually means and what kind of doorways you can open with Ouija. Thank you guys. God bless.